Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You know, Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24th of this year. Everybody rallied around Ukraine because Russia is wrong yesterday and Russia is still wrong today. I don't think the way we can solve problems in the 21st century is for another country, because of its military power, to go and invade another country because it feels that it has all of the military equipment, you know, it's big, it has the power to go invade another country. And that's just what Russia did. But the international community responded, and they responded well. The Western world, led by the United States of America, rallied around Ukraine and still rallying around Ukraine today to ensure that Ukraine has the weapons needed to fight Russia's aggression. The United States alone has contributed close to $8 billion in arms and humanitarian supplies to Ukraine. The UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and other countries that we can name because of time all contributed to ensure that Ukraine defend itself and defend democracy. And the Ukrainian people are putting up a good fight. Russia initially thought she was going to take the country in a few weeks, but it's been almost going to 6 months now. The Ukrainians are still fighting, defending, and keeping Russia's troops confined in the specific areas. The international community should continue its pressure on Russia to make sure that if Russia withdraw or Russia is pushed back from Ukraine, pushed out of Ukraine. But there's something that the international community is skipping, and I think they got to be very frank with the president of Ukraine, Zelenskyy. Zelenskyy said the other day, sometime in June, before they start sending these harvesters and the HIMARS to his country, he said the other day that his country was outmatched. I say outgunned and outmanned. There were also 300 soldiers, 200 to 300 soldiers a day. It was hell. The international community sent harvesters, they sent tanks, they sent now HIMARS. He came out and said, okay, the HIMARS were making a difference. But then 2 days ago, I read a newspaper again, he said, it was hell. Even, he said, this is his word. Even with the Western aid, the heavy weapons and other things that they are sending, his country can still match with Russian heavy artillery, and his forces are being outmanned. It was Zelenskyy that asked for all the weapons they asked for, that the Western countries have been sent to Ukraine. He has been asking for these weapons. You need a harvester lender in Ukraine. Dozens of them. You need a HIMARS lender in Ukraine. Dozens of them. Beaver trucks now from Germany, you know, those trucks. The Beaver trucks are trucks, you know, are tanks that can help you to build a bridge when the bridge is broken and stuff like that. Beaver trucks now landing in Ukraine. Ukraine is one of the most heavily armed country, one of the heavily armed countries in Europe right now. Because everywhere they have weapons from everywhere. Czech Republic, Denmark, Norway, United States, Great Britain, France, Italy, Germany, and other countries that we cannot name right now. All send weapons into Ukraine. But I think the international community got to be Very frank with their friend. You know, it's good to be frank with your friend whenever he's trying to do something you don't understand. Zelenskyy is sending messages. Does he want to negotiate with Russia? Okay, that's a good thing because nobody wants people to continue to die. If it's Russian soldiers or Russian civilians or Ukrainian soldiers or Ukrainian civilians or international legends that are fighting in Ukraine, nobody wants anybody to die. And if the war is going to stop and end peacefully, it will be a good thing for everybody. The economic pinch that everybody is feeling right now as a result of the Ukrainian crisis will be subsided. We end. And people in our area will live their normal lives. But Ukraine is saying she's not going to see any territory because of peace. If that is her position, which of course I support, because Russia cannot be made to be awarded for its aggression. She did that in Crimea, she did that in Georgia, and we can't allow her to continue to do this and encroach on other people's territory, take the land, and keep it as its own. But Zelenskyy got to be very clear as to what he wants, or he got to stay out of the Mediterranean's way. He said that his country was losing 200 soldiers a day. His country was losing 200 soldiers a day, 200 to 300 soldiers a day. He said that in June. Then they said howitzer and some other weapons. So, okay, that number is reduced to 30%. They said howitzer and stuff, they said Hamas now. Every military expert from around the world is saying that Hamas changed the war. They have stopped Russia in its tracks. Ukrainian forces are taking out critical infrastructure, bridges, Russia ammunition depot, command and control centers, railway lines with the Hamas that have been sent. One of the most advanced weapons in the U.S. armory sent to Ukraine. 18 of them into Ukraine. A few days ago, I was reading on the internet because I follow the Ukrainian war. I follow politics generally because I did my minor in college. My minor was in politics. I did public administration and minor in politics. So since a little boy, I've been following politics all the time. Follow politics and to know what's happening around the world. I was reading the newspaper, and he said, Zelenskyy, Ukrainian president, said, with all of the weapons that he's receiving from the Western war, Ukraine is still outgunned. The heavy artillery can still match Russia heavy artillery, and they are still outmanned. The last time I checked, and all the international experts have said, that Russia entered into Ukraine with 190,000 troops. Now, Ukraine, the population of Ukraine is 44 million. Okay, that assumes that the people in the Donbass region maybe 4 million, 5 million. So you still got 39 or 40 million population there in Ukraine. Okay, they assume that 20 million of them are women. The other 20 million, they assume that 5 million women. Okay, out of the other 15 million, they assume that maybe 2 million are, above the age of 60. You still have 10 million to play with. You cannot be outgoing in your own country. You cannot be outgoing in your own country. No, you cannot be outmanned in your own country. Because the people of Ukraine are fighting for the land. They're not fighting for any other thing. Ukraine are not fighting for any other thing. They're fighting for the land. This land. That land. That's what they are fighting for. And they are doing everything they can to fight for that land. But the president cannot continue to undermine the effort of the soldiers. The military. There is no military. All the military stuff I've been following. I haven't heard military people coming up and saying, "Oh, my soldiers are dying. I lost 200 or 300 soldiers a day." If he wants to say that, he can't say that to the entire war. He can call the U.S. Secretary of Defense, Lord Aston, U.S. Chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, is it Mallow or somebody call him? Call the British Defense Minister. These people should have the information because they're going to make decisions on how to stop the fight. You can't come on the air and say you're losing all this men. You try to demoralize your own soldiers. I'm from Liberia in West Africa, a small West Africa country, right? And during the Liberian Civil War, I was living in rebel territory because Charles Taylor, the guy who was leading the National Patriotic Front of Liberia, NPFL, all his forces almost captured the whole country. Only Monrovia and some other areas were under the control of the government. And so it was hard for you to leave from no area. And I didn't want to live in refugee camps, so I stayed there. With all the way Charles Taylor was being pushed out of some territory, Charles Taylor didn't come out here and say, oh, I'm lost 300 men. But Charles Taylor should come out, and Charles Taylor always come up with positive saying that he's going to win the war. His soldiers are making progress. That's what Charles Taylor did. I'm saying this to say Zelenskyy cannot continue to honor his military by saying they lost 200 men. It's hell. It's hell. That's not your place. Not for the money, not for the military supplies, and supply your defense minister, supply your chief of staff, and the military people with the necessary equipment they need, and make sure you put in the check and balances so that the military supply are used for its internal purposes, not to land on the black market, because we know, as everybody knows, Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in Europe, so that those weapons and the supplies of Western countries and other friendly governments are sent to Ukraine doesn't or don't end up in the hands of, or don't end up on the black market. It's possible. So you got to stay out of the way. There is no way you should continue to say you are outman, you are outgunned, and you are outman in your own country. The United States, Great Britain, France, Germany have to be friends with Zelenskyy. They got to be friends with the defense minister. They got to be friends with the army chief of staff of Ukraine. Since Russia invaded, there is no major city that Ukraine have counterattacked in and retaken. In Mariupol, Russian troops stayed almost 2 months in Mariupol. Ukraine was never able to break the siege of Mariupol. All the major cities that they have been attacking, Ukraine have been attacking, Russia has taken the cities. Russia has taken the cities. Okay, we heard that Ukraine is going to planning, laying the groundwork to attack Kherson. That's great. Everybody wants, most democratically elected governments around the world feel and regularly so that Ukraine is fighting for democracy against authoritarian governments like that in Russia under Putin. So everybody's giving their support. But Zelenskyy too has to start sending mixed messages to the international community. He asked for this weapon, the weapon against them. But they say it stay hell. He asked for the one against them. He said it stay hell. If you feel you can push Russia out of Ukraine, call for a ceasefire. But as I already said, if you call for ceasefire, know that Russia is going to keep the land they have right now. Russia is never going to give back any land the way she did Crimea. She's never going to give back any land to Ukraine through negotiation. It's not going to happen. So if Zelenskyy feels that his people are dying, nobody wants anybody to die, nobody wants any destruction, the international community is supporting Ukraine because they feel that Ukraine is, it's not feel, but they know that Ukraine is supporting its homeland and fighting for democracy, so that democratic elected government can feel that authoritarian government cannot just come and overpower them capture the land because they have, the army. But Zelensky got to stay out of the way of the military. He got to stay out of the way of the military and start making the kind of utterances. The international community got to be real with him. They got to tell him, look, the war started almost 6 months ago. You have never attacked and recaptured any major city. Mariupol, they were there for almost 2 months. You never break the siege of Mariupol. They attack you in several Donetsk. They attack you in Luhansk, the other places. You withdrew. So what area now you going to retake? We're looking for, so you say you're going to retake Kherson. Everybody wants to see what you do. But when you feel that your troops are not able to retake these areas, then just tell the international community, say, look, we don't want our people to continue to die. We don't want you guys to continue to spend your taxpayer money to send arms here. We're going to go to a negotiation table so that we can end the war on through negotiations. Russia will keep what she has right now, and then we stop the bloodshed. But you should know that it is not going to be where Russia starts. Russia is going to continue to attack and going to get more of Ukraine if you cannot push them back. And since you know you don't have the appetite and you continue to be afraid and make these kind of a statements, then you get out of the way. Let the military people in Ukraine, who are already doing a very good job, continue to do the good job they are doing. Keep Russia away or try to get Russia out of that place. Your utterances are undermining the military ability to even recruit. I would not want to go fight war when my president is coming on here and saying I'm losing 200 soldiers a day. It's hell, we are being outgunned, outmanned. Why would I want to fight? Our military people are always positive. When the president says, I captured the place, they say, you didn't capture it. We still fighting it. The president said, I killed 200 soldiers. You said, no, you didn't kill nobody. We killed 500 people. You can't be coming and make the other man to feel that what he's doing is working. If you say Russia, we are lost to 200 soldiers, Russia will know what it's doing is working and will continue to do that. Stay out of the way. Let the military people fight the war. Let them fight the war. Zelenskyy needs to stay out of the way. And the international community has to be frank with Ukraine. If Ukraine cannot retake the territory, then Ukraine should call for a ceasefire. They should pressurize Ukraine to call for a ceasefire. They go to the negotiation table, and that's as Kissinger suggested, so that they can find an amicable solution. Russia keeps the land she has right now. And Ukraine should see territory because Russia is not going to leave from Ukraine without being forced to do that militarily. You are watching the Delmarva Point of View on YouTube. My name is Pico Conway. I come to you every Thursday with Community Thursday and Friday with Politics Friday. Today is Friday, August 5th, and we're discussing Ukraine. We're discussing Ukraine in terms of the president of Ukraine is sending mixed messages. From my own understanding, he's sending mixed messages to the international community. Whether he wants to negotiate, stop the war, or he wants to keep fighting. He said Ukraine is not going to see any land, but if he said Ukraine is not going to see any land, and you continue to say you lost 200, 300 men, and you are being outgunned and outmatched with all the way the international community is supporting you, giving you all the weapons you requested for, then we have to stop the war because taxpayers around the world who governments are sending money to Ukraine would not want to see that money continue to go, and then at the end of the day, maybe Russia overrun the whole country. So it's better if you know that you cannot withstand what Russia is doing, and the help, which of course everybody knows the help that is going into Ukraine, should be able to stop or push Russia out. What are those weapons are being going on the black market? Nobody knows because, as I said already, Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in Europe. And so what are people taking those arms and they stay and doing something else with it? Nobody knows. But the thing I can say, I know that the Ukrainian people are fighting for the thing. And I want to believe that they are using those weapons to send on the black market. What I'm saying is the president got to stay out of the way. Let the military people do the work. Let the military people do the work. Let him stay out of the way. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Delmarva Point of View on YouTube. I will talk to you next week Friday. Come up with another beautiful topic. If you think I say anything here that is inaccurate, text me, man. My number is back. It's on the text me. And if we can correct it, we'll correct it. If we can clarify what we said, we will clarify what we said. I will I will come back here and talk to you next week. Have a blessed day. Goodbye for now.